And very often we also have an honorable mention.
Yep.
This week, the return of the dishonorable mention.
Return of the dishonorable mention. And I'm very sad about this because last week
this was shocking.
This was up high on the Heat Index. But Saraya,
half of this,
and I include Saraya and the entire women's division.
Yeah.
Because just in one segment, they just made it feel so ugh.
So Saraya, not bad. She got cheered when she came out.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what people were expecting, but they didn't get it at all. They were dead from the second they stopped cheering for her entrance.
Yeah.
I heard everybody talk about what a terrible promo this was. It wasn't a terrible promo.
No, it
just wasn't much of a promo. It was, I'm here. Then they're like, it's Saraya's house. And she's like, yeah, it's my house.
I'm really nervous.
Thank God Swerve wasn't here. Thank God he's still recovering from the Rolling Loud Festival. There could have been issues. There could have been more bites.
Yeah.
But that was it. That's all she had. She had nothing more than that.
Yeah.
And then she brought out, I just talked to Tony, which I thought Tony Schiavone. Nope. Yeah. There's a lot of Tonys here. We need to clarify, people.
Yeah.
I have a boss that listens to me, and he listened to my terrible idea to have our Lumberjill match that we're calling a Lumberjack match.
Yep. For the championship.
Why not? Right. Why not?
And then I'm going to go sit over in this booth and do nothing.
Yeah. Not involved in any way.
Yeah.
And at least we saw Jamie Hayter for the first time since the pay-per-view where everybody wanted her to win the title.
Right.
As in
they're
first
chanting
time
her
we've
name.
Seen her in a
She's
match.
The most over person in the segment.
Listen, Kevin, all these women are talented women. They're all talented.
They all deserve better.
Nobody gives a shit about any of them. People care about Jamie Hayter. They care about Britt Baker.
Yep.
That's it.
That's about it.
That's all they care about of those women.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people care kind of a little tiny bit about Serena Deeb, but Toni Storm isn't over at all. Athena isn't over at all.
No.
Saraya ended her overness as soon as she started talking for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember any of the other women here.
She did two things.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. I just wanted to say one thing. Then there was like a random blonde woman. I didn't know who she was. Then I realized it's the one that
Penelope.
came in as like the... No, not Penelope. Because Penelope had the coon eyes going. She had her raccoon eyes in full effect. I know Penelope Ford. I know her in my sleep.
Yeah.
I didn't know the other random blonde woman who I swore I'd never seen before in my life. And then I realized at the end of the segment, this is the new woman who may not be named Nicole, who is now like an official coach of the division. And I haven't seen her since like one match.
Yeah.
Was it Jade? She wrestled Jade.
She had a match. Yeah, she had two matches.
Yeah. So it's great to have the random woman who's been on TV one time in just random street clothes without an entrance, so no one knows who the hell she is.
Right.
They already don't care about Toni Storm, and she's the champion. They care about Britt. They care about Jamie, neither of which are going to be in the next 5 champions. And then, by the way, we had a non-over Saraya say these bullshit words into the microphone. She said, I might be misquoting a tiny bit, but it's very close to her actual words. Toni Storm, who's like 10 times better than any woman who's ever held this belt before.
Yeah. The greatest champion AEW has had.
Yeah, champion.
Yeah.
Not even women's,
right.
Just champion, period. Let's
Kenny
say
Omega,
women's.
Pshaw.
We're saying this woman is better than Hikaru Shida.
Yeah.
Than Britt Baker.
Right.
Than many other women who've held this belt whose names I don't remember at this exact moment, including the first one from Japan, who is very tiny. Riho. Better,
Who day one, Riho could have walked out there and waved to the crowd. She would have been the most overwhelming.
If Riho walked out, she would. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When Jamie Hayter gets 5 times the pop of Saraya, of Toni Storm, you're doing something wrong, people.
Right.
And by the way, just real quick, Jamie Hayter versus Willow Nightingale, one of the best matches of the week.
It might have been my favorite match of the week.
Willow Nightingale is more over than Toni Storm.
Willow Nightingale's great.
She's great, and she's more over than Toni Storm.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Who, by the way, I don't think said a word on television.
No, she did not. No.
Not a word.
She gave a weird look when they booed her when she said she was the greatest champion that they've had, and the Philadelphia crowd was not having it, and she just gave that look that when a babyface looks, and they're, why am I getting booed? Yeah, it's a problem. I mean, she's basically, you talk about sandbagging, she just sandbagged that whole division on the mic. Like,
she really did.
She did two things. She came out as the hottest thing in one of the hottest things on the show. One of the biggest news items on the show, and did two things. Number one, basically made it clear that she's not going to be wrestling anytime soon.
Yep.
And that she has no purpose to serve in that agenda. I mean, in that division. And then also made everything about WWE, which is the last thing those audience wants to hear about.
Yep.
Like, this is not like 1998 with X-Pac, ripping on Eric Bischoff. Like, people are over that. Yeah. People actually like WWE now. That's the hard part. You can't just bash on them.
That's the one piece I had picked up on.
Is the stuff that people are complaining about. People right now are not accepting that that's that way anymore.
Well, her whole "the boss wasn't listening to me." That's Vince. Vince isn't there anymore.
Right. Exactly.
People didn't mind CM Punk.
Right.
Or Chris Jericho or Moxley bashing on Vince because Vince is a horrible human being.
Right. Right.
I'm sure Triple H isn't the best dude in the world, but he's not quite someone I'd describe as a horrible human being. And he's putting on wrestling again. He's putting on a good show. So that's the one. I literally didn't realize it until you said it just now. So thank you. Yeah, that's why that doesn't work.
And so they don't know what to expect from her. People kind of unfairly compared this to CM Punk coming back. The thing with CM Punk coming back, he did talk a lot when he came back, but one thing he very clearly did was said, I'm coming back to wrestle. I want to wrestle the young people, and I want to see if I still have it. He had a storyline immediately.
There was a story and there was a point.
And we still don't know why she's here. And somehow she can book matches, or she can't, or is she just like, who knows? I don't know. It's super frustrating.
If she's not wrestling, I'm going to be super crass right now, Kevin.
Okay.
I'm going to be more crass than usual.
Oh.
If she's not wrestling,
yeah,
and she's not that great a talker,
yeah,
at least put her in skimpier clothes.
Oh, well, that was way less crass than I expected it to be.
Okay. That's all I'm saying. Like, she's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, give us something. Give us something. If you're not going to give us her wrestling, if she's not going to point out, hey, I'm not wrestling for the next 3 months, but when I am wrestling, it's Britt Baker, I'm coming for you.
Right.
If you're not giving us anything, at least give us something to look at.
Yeah.
That's super sexist James comment for the night.
Hey, it's wrestling. You can't escape that.
No.
Like last week, I thought if they had pulled the trigger on Jamie Hayter at the pay-per-view, and then the following week, Jamie Hayter brought out Saraya as being in her corner, you would have immediately had a role for Saraya because she would have been mentoring. She would have been Jamie Hayter's backup mouthpiece and like her rebel, to even it up. You could have had Britt back at the top of the division by winning the title at the pay-per-view, and you would have had the hottest feud that the women's division's probably had in ever since the early days of Toni and of Thunder Rosa and Britt, because you would have had Jamie Hayter as one of the top stars. Now you would have had to sacrifice Toni, but that's not really a big sacrifice at this point.
No,
and you would have had a great storyline. You would have had a place for Saraya. She could have been out there talking. Jamie would have been incredibly over. Saraya could have been talking her up in the mic. They could have tied up their UK background, as their bond, and you would have had this instant feud that like actually gives some purpose to the division. And now it's like there's nothing happening. They're all just running around in circles together.